Hey everybody, I'm back, and we're going to take a quick trip down memory lane to give you some more background information on Jason Leopold, Fitzmas, and the legend about the 24 business hours. This is the same Jason Leopold that the media is currently placing their hopes on to get Trump out of office, and also the same business Jason Leopold that William Rivers Pitt is waiting 24 business hours. So real quick, I'm gonna go to this all the way back in time to May 15th, 2006 in the DUmmie FUnnies. And it's Pied Piper Pitt bets the farm on Fitzmas. So just a quick review here, and this is going to help people understand something about the background of Jason Leopold and everything. And some people are a little confused when I keep referring to 24 business hours. I think hopefully this will clear it all up. And what happened is back in 2006, William Rivers Pitt of TruthOut wasn't having a very good time. He, as you can see here, he was got in trouble with this PDA organization because he was supporting a candidate in Illinois and wanted a recount. PDA got sick of him, kicked them out. Then after that, Pitt was trying to weasel his way into the John Kerry 2008 campaign. Yeah, I know he ran in 2004, and after that, Pitt was absolutely sure that Kerry would be the nominee in 2008. Well, we know what happened with that. So what happened at that point in 2006? This is May now. He gambled everything, his entire credibility, on Jason Leopold giving him a report about Patrick Fitzgerald indicting Karl Rove. So let's just read along what happened. So what he did is gamble everything on the fact that Patrick Fitzgerald indicted Karl Rove on Friday, and then bask in the glow of having been the only source, TruthOut, for breaking the scoop. Of course, just on the Friday announcement that Karl Rove told others that he would be indicted was not quite enough. So Pitt upped the ante the following day by flat out declaring that Karl Rove has been indicted. Yeah, that got into the news. As I told you in the previous video, even Hillary Clinton got onto that and was standing up cheering it. According to this Jason Leopold report that was enthusiastically broadcast across the leftist blogosphere via Pitt's TruthOut, Patrick Fitzgerald on Friday had given Karl Rove 24 hours to get his affairs in order following the indictment. Well, that set the clock off, and when 24 hours came and went with nothing happening, Pitt was forced to announce that I just got off the phone with Jason Leopold and issue the lame amendment that the 24 hours referred to earlier really meant 24 business hours. In other words, 3 business days. Now, has anybody out there ever heard someone use the term 24 business hours in place of the standard 3 business days? No, I thought not. The fact is, if you mean 3 business days, you will always say 3 business days, never 24 business hours. However, this did have the effect of extending the clock and buy Pitt an extra 3 days, or perhaps he will not include lunch hours in those 24 business days business hours in order to tack on an extra 3 hours until noontime this Thursday. And when no Rove indictment comes down by then, it wouldn't surprise me if we hear another time amendment issued by Pitt. So now let's go to the actual post back then of William Rivers Pitt telling what happened when he got off the phone with Jason Leopold. I mean, talk about gullible. Okay, so here we go. I just got on, this is William Rivers Pitt on May 14th, 2006. Okay, and he's starting to get a little worried, but he got reassured by Jason Leopold. I just got off the phone with Jason Leopold, who clarified something for me that is pretty damned important. In his article, he said, during the course of that meeting, Fitzgerald served attorneys for former Deputy White House Chief of Staff Karl Rove with an indictment charging the embattled White House official with perjury and lying to investigators related to his role in the CIA leak case, and instructed one of the attorneys to tell Rove that he has 24 hours to get his affairs in order. High-level sources with direct knowledge of the meeting said Sunday morning. In point of fact, those 24 hours are business hours, i.e. starting on Monday. Jeez, Jason, I said, we might have to put that into the essay. Half the planet thought 24 hours was 24 hours. They thought the deal would go down today. Jeez, Jason, what are you doing to me? Jeez, Jason. To be fair, a dozen eyes looked at that article yesterday before we published it, mine included, and none of us caught that. The word business has been inserted into the story after the hours where it belongs. Yeah, and oh, wait, here. So Monday at the very earliest, but more like Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, Pitt, maybe, or like Thursday or Friday, or maybe Saturday or Sunday, or maybe 2007 or 2008, or how about 2018 or 2019? Yeah, William Rivers Pitt, he's still waiting 24 business hours for Jason Leopold to deliver the goods. Well, anyway, we know where that's going, and the same thing is happening now. Guess who's waiting basically 24 business hours for Trump exit salvation, and they're waiting 24 business hours for that, the media. So don't hold your breath, guys. Now let's go to the current. So now we know a little of the background of the 24 business hours. Let's go to the current dummies who are most, not all, but most of them are quite skeptical because they got burned pretty bad after celebrating Fitzmas, thanks to Jason Leopold and William Rivers Pitt in the past. So here we go. This is today, January 18th, and it's Oberliner is the poster, he has the original post. So here he goes. And notice the skepticism coming up. Jason Leopold is the co-author of the BuzzFeed article everyone is talking about. More info coming in 24 business hours. Uh-oh. Now this gets some dummies angry. So let's go to the here's Bernie McCoy making the right-wingers case, because that's what you're doing. No, actually what he's doing is being quite realistic. I'm sorry. Now Oberliner replies, no, urging caution with respect to Jason Leopold, who burned many on DU during the Merry Fitzmas era. Yeah, Merry Fitzmas. They were bringing, and that's when I believe that's when the Freudenschade came into being. They were all celebrating, and somebody said meant to say Schadenfreude. Really, what he said was posted was Freudenschade. We picked up on that. So basically, and also right now we see Freudenschade again among the media. And a few, not really too many in the DUmmie FUnnies, in the dummy land, because even they know what's going on about Jason Leopold. Let's see. Oh yeah, this guy here, Bernie McCoy, is very angry. He says, "I strongly disagree with you on this. Jason Leopold is an award-winning journalist, right?" Then here's somebody, Cuthbert Allgood. It was more realistic here. One story, how about the plagiarism? Leopold is an effing joke. Until a real journalist is on this, I'm being very cautious. Gee, I would say that's a pretty good idea. Oh, and he didn't say Libby was going to be indicted. He said Karl Rove was in 24 hours. We're still waiting. No, actually, it was 24 business hours, and you're still waiting, and you will continue to wait. And William Rivers Pitt, stuck in his cabin in the middle of the New Hampshire woods, he's still waiting too. Again, from Cuthbert Allgood, Leopold is an effing joke. The other author has said in CNN that he has not seen the actual evidence. I'm going to wait until the actual evidence surfaces before jumping on this bandwagon. Yeah, everybody's going to have to wait 24 business hours before they wait on the bed. That means the other author, Cormier, I think his name is, that means he probably, I don't think he could possibly know the background of Jason Leopold in the 24 business hours. Bernie McCoy, he just doesn't give up. Don't you give up, Bernie? Are you the real McCoy? He says, by the way, you're not urging caution. You're taking a cheap shot at that a right-winger would use. No, it's a cheap shot. It's not a cheap shot, and it's something a rational person would use. Back to Oberliner, who's in somewhat based on reality here. Were you not a DUer during the 24 business hours nonsense? It's no cheap shot. It's a stark reminder of how Leopold burned a lot of us before. Yeah, and I also remember, was it Bev Harris? You got burned by Bev Harris. She was $10 away from making John Kerry president. I don't know if any of you remember that. It'd be great if another source can corroborate this reporting. Hey, you know what? Let's call William Rivers Pitt. Maybe he can corroborate it. Who has said on TV they have not seen the actual evidence. No other news network has been able to verify this. With Leopold on the article, I'm waiting for the real journalists to chime in. Yeah, it all hinges on Jason Leopold. Don't worry. Mainstream media, Jason Leopold will come through for you. I guarantee he's going to deliver the documents in 24 business hours. So this goes pretty much the same way. You could see that the dummies, even they are skeptical. They're a lot more skeptical than the mainstream media. So I hope this cleared up a little bit about the background of Jason Leopold, 24 business hours, Fitzmas, and that whole thing. It was quite funny. It was probably one of the most hilarious DUmmie FUnnies we ever did. And I tell you what I'll do. At the bottom of this video, I'm going to have a link to the DUmmie FUnnies page that covered it. And that'll have, from there, you can link out to, there's a lot more links from that DUmmie FUnnies page, so you can get some good background. But I just think this is absolutely hilarious. I mean, hey, the mainstream media, don't you guys even check on the background of Jason Leopold? Huh? Okay, so just go ahead, wait your 24 business hours for this report to be verified. And until then, old PJ says, salute.